Welcome to Soulful Sunday here at Ariel's Corner. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube. What happened to my video? This is the wrong video. Hold on a second. Let me fix this. Fix this, please. Okay. I kind of felt like having that one. Okay, that's better. Anyway, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. We are streaming live on YouTube, and moderating for us today are the lovely Jason and the lovely Vanessa. Thank you so much, moderators. And we have a break coming up tomorrow, and I'm sorry, my brain just had a little short circuit there. We are off on Mondays and Tuesdays, and so we won't be back till Wednesday. I know we used to stream on Tuesday, and some people for some reason think we still do, but we don't. So we are off on Mondays and Tuesdays. I needed that extra day off to take care of my family and stuff. So we will be back on Wednesday for Witchy Wednesday. So let's see. We have a website at arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com, and that's where you can find all of our resources. Remember that all of our resources at arielscorner.com are free of charge. That includes full-length courses, booklets, free lectures, free guided meditations, free spells. There's a whole video spell book in there, so everything is for free. And we like it that way. There's a whole course on angel magic, and there's 3 different courses on witchcraft, non-denominational witchcraft. There's a basic witch's primer, which is a basic witchcraft course that's 18 weeks in length, and then there's 2 shorter 6-week courses in witchcraft. There's an intermediate course called Witchcraft Beyond the Basics, and there's an advanced class called Advancing Your Craft. It's called Advancing Your Craft. Then, like I said, we have a basic angel magic course. We have an astral projection course. There's all kinds of cool stuff there. So just knock yourself out. That's all for free. We do have a Discord server, and we have a private Facebook group if you'd like to be part of our community. And you can find the links to those right on our website in the footer of any page there. We have a chat thread going right now on our stream, so please chat amongst yourselves. And if you have any questions for me, you can put them right in the chat thread, and I will do my best to get to those questions before I end the stream today. If you'd like to donate to us, you can do that by going to paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. If you're live, you could use a super sticker or super chat in the chat thread if you feel like giving a donation, or on a restream, you could use a super thanks, or like I said, you can just do it offline, off of YouTube by going to paypal.me/Ariel Gatoga. We also have a shop, and that's located at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. Check it out and let us know what you think. All right, let's get going. If you're in a place where it is safe and appropriate, please close your eyes and begin to take some nice, long, slow, deep, relaxing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. With every inhale, feel more light and peace entering your body and mind. With every exhale, let go of all the tension in your body, along with anything in your mind that you do not want, inhaling peace and exhaling as we let go. We picture ourselves on top of a beautiful mountain in the center of a circular grove of trees. In the center of our circle, a bonfire blazes forth. This bonfire lights us and the grove with a sacred golden light. This is the light of perfect love and perfect trust, and it burns away everything unlike itself, leaving us safe and serene. Into our sacred space, we invoke the presence of our Creator. To many of us, our Creator reveals themselves to be a mother and father, a goddess and God. We also invite the presence of our angels, our guides, our teachers. We ask that they be with us as we walk upon the way, guiding us and helping us to become happier, more magical, more powerful, more peaceful, and more loving people. Blessed be. The goddess, and we call her the Shekinah in angel magic, is a universal force out of which everything is born, from which everything proceeds, and to which everything returns. And this goddess force is a divine presence that can act as an intermediary, as a mediator between our illusory perceptions of this world and the truth that is within us and within our soul, guiding us towards happiness and connection and back to our home outside of the illusory nature that is projected onto the screen of space by our own egos. And the goddess is able to help us to realize our authentic, unified nature with the Creator. The goddess helps to correct that which we perceive and show us things in a way that's closer to, at least, the truth, until we no longer need perception any longer. Many people don't understand the idea of the goddess, and they think that it's something that's relegated to ancient mythology. But for many of us, the goddess is a real vital force that is the closest thing to us as far as divinity goes. And the goddess represents the concept of divine grace, the idea that a mother, the divine supreme mother especially, but any mother shows grace to their children. A mother's love is very unique in that it has the potential, depending on the mother. I know there's many human mothers that do fall short, and sometimes when I talk about this, people say, well, my mother wasn't like that. But you do know mothers like this. If you look for it, you can see it. It's very common that a mother's love can overcome any bad actions by the child and can see past any mistakes that child has made. And so the supreme mother, the universal mother, the great goddess, who's known by many different names, has that grace available to us at all times. It doesn't matter what mistakes we've made. It doesn't matter what we've done. It doesn't matter what other people have done and what other mistakes they've made. To the divine universal mother, we are all her children. And she only sees us through the eyes of love. And it's bigger than, well, at least she sees us as we really are, because she also is the great goddess. So she also has the power to correct for us the mistakes that we aren't capable of correcting on our own. She has the ability to kiss it and make it better, so to speak. She can undo anything. She can untie us from any so-called karma or consequence of mistakes that we've made in the past. And when we understand this Shekinah force, when we understand this goddess force as what it is, there really is no reason for us to ever feel alone or for us ever to worry about the future or worry about anything, because through her, anything can be undone. Through her, there is divine grace available no matter what. And it's so important for us, especially right now, but always, for us to foster peace within ourselves. That's got to be our goal. If we can't make that our priority, then everything that we do is really spinning our wheels. If we can't make peace our goal, then we don't have anything to complain about when we don't have peace. when things don't work out for us and we haven't been working on finding that inner peace, then what did we expect? What did we expect? So it really is on us to have that as our goal. Now, it's not up to us to be able to find that goal all on our own. That's when this force of the goddess, Shekinah, the great mother, is there for us to show us, to guide us, to love us through it. There's so many times when I've talked to people who just say, oh, nothing ever works for me. Nothing ever works for me. And it's just the world is just such a painful place. And I keep talking to them and I keep talking to them. And pretty soon I realize why the world is always such a painful place. Because they hate themselves so much. They hate themselves so much. And to expect somebody that has been taught to hate themselves so much to just love themselves is not fair to them. Because they don't, if they knew how, they'd be doing it. But that's where the goddess comes in. Because she doesn't require that you know how. She doesn't need you to know how to do it. She does it for you. She never stopped loving you. And so it's as if all of the self-love that you need in order to find that inner peace and in order for things to work out for you has been held for you in trust. And so you can lean on her love for you when you don't know how to love yourself. And then through that, you learn self-love. You learn how to love yourself, how to care for yourself, how to cherish yourself. It's so funny how when people see puppies, they say, oh, I just love you so much. But they just loathe themselves. Now, I love puppies too. I think puppies are fabulous. And I feel the same way. It's like, oh, I just love you so much. But I don't want to love a puppy more than I love myself. That doesn't seem very practical. But most people do. Most people love puppies more than they love themselves. So if you notice that you can't love yourself as much as a puppy, you have a lot more opportunity to work with the mother, to work with the goddess in order to find and discover how to do that. And she knows how, and she knows how to teach you. Right? It's not that we don't want to love puppies, but if we can only summon the love for another unconditionally for puppies, if we can only foster unconditional love for puppies at the expense of doing it for ourselves, we have some work to do. Because it's not a big mystery why things don't work out for us when we loathe ourselves so much. We didn't wake up one day loathing ourselves. We were taught how to loathe ourselves. It's not natural to not love yourself. It's not normal to not love yourself. That's just not normal. Because at your core, you do love yourself. At your core, you do. But there's so much resistance to experience that love. And that's something that we learned. And the only way to unlearn it is through the grace of the goddess. Peace that we find inside of us is self-love. And it's a transformative force that not only heals us, but heals our relationships and heals the entire world. And there are obstacles and challenges to experiencing this peace that this world presents to us. A lot of those obstacles, like we've just discussed, are internal obstacles. They are self-created barriers to peace that we have picked up along the way. Either our parents didn't know how to teach us to love ourselves, our teachers didn't know how to teach us how to love ourselves, siblings, television, news, wherever we picked it up, all of the above. It doesn't matter where we picked it up, but we did pick it up. So we have those obstacles. And then we also have external challenges, not being able to get along with one another, feeling vulnerable to the world around us, listening to just the news reports and the being aware of not only world events, but just the challenges of being alive in the world. So that's an obstacle to feeling peace. We don't feel safe here. But you know what? Everybody thinks this is the worst it's ever been. Maybe it is, but I guarantee you it wasn't any fun being in this world thousands and thousands of years ago either. So it's never been easy to find peace in this world. But peace will overcome all obstacles gently and effectively. And we can prove that to ourselves as we foster this inner relationship with the goddess, with the mother, with the Shekinah. Now, this force is known by all kinds of names, and the patriarchal religions have their own versions of it. Christianity had to call it the Holy Spirit because it's just not okay, I guess, to be Christian and have divinity be feminine gender. But it doesn't matter what you call her or it, because it's still the same thing. It's still there to provide you with that support, that guidance, and that instruction to become at one with the peace that is your natural state of being. You see, there's something about peace being a bottom line. And you can prove it to yourself. We talk about this frequently, but you can prove it to yourself just by sitting in a chair and closing your eyes and taking some deep breaths and relaxing your body. And then you relax your body a little bit more. And you relax your body a little bit more. And you keep finding layers of tension that you're letting go of. Layers of tension you're letting go of. What you find underneath those layers of tension is this constant state of peace. Now, you can't relax out of peace. You can block the experience of peace by creating tension. But peace is what exists after those artificial tensions are let go. And so peace is your natural state, and it's the natural state of all the universe. And this is what the goddess teaches us, is where to find that peace. That is divine grace, is that no matter what you've done, it's simply tension. No matter what has happened, it's simply a blocking of your awareness to the peace that exists within you. Peace is not something that you need to create. Peace is something that you need to orient to. And we've been so trained to go anywhere but peace in this world that the goddess has a full-time job in guiding us and showing us and teaching us about this peace. Now, the goddess is the goddess holds an important role in our relationships as well, because she can teach us to find connections with one another that are meaningful and real, and understand that at our core, when we find that peace, that we are all joined, like at the hub of a wheel. We don't lose our identity. We don't lose the individuation that we were created with. But at our core, we are all one. We are connected. And that's one of her main lessons, is that our so-called brothers and sisters are not necessarily just flailing about separate from us. They are one with us. They are one with us. And how she extends peace to each other through us is something that is quite profound. And when we are working with this goddess force, when we're working with Shekinah, we are learning how to extend peace to one another. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to get it right all the time. I know I don't. I don't get this right all the time. But if I take time in the morning and maybe during the middle of the day and definitely before I go to sleep at night to reorient to her, she's able to have a lot more control over my relationships than if I don't do that. Because then a whole day doesn't go by where I don't go back and say, okay, this is where I had some problems with this person, and this is where I had some discord with this person, and she is able to, through her grace, to be able to mend those relationships and to find a way that those relationships cause me nothing but peace. And that includes the people that are so difficult that I don't have anything to do with. There are those. There are those people that, for whatever reason, it's not safe for me to be around, and I have no contact with those people. But that doesn't mean that she isn't there showing me how to give and extend peace to them. It doesn't mean that I'm sitting seething and hating them. It means that for whatever reason, in this particular time-space continuum, I don't have physical contact with these people right now because that's for the best. But that doesn't mean I don't have peace for them, that I don't love them, and that I don't allow her to mend those relationships and to find that peace and wholeness within those relationships. So we align with the goddess, and we align our goals with the goddess. We align our relationships with the goddess. We align our perceptions with the goddess, and we allow her free reign. We allow her free access to every aspect of our bodies, minds, and affairs, so that at any moment we are able to be guided and led. Now, to many of us, our inner guide doesn't show up as a goddess. It might show up as a different kind of figure, a different kind of relationship, and that's okay. She doesn't care. She can wear any kind of costume she needs to in order for it to be effective for us. But the one thing that is constant is that her goal for us is peace, connection, healing, oneness. And as we recognize that through her, she can expand our peaceful experience to areas of our lives that we didn't think we could ever have healing with. It doesn't matter what it is. She's not limited. So if you've always had problems with money, it's not a problem for her. If you've always had a problem with weight, it's really not a problem for her. If you've always had a problem with food, you've always had a problem with drugs, always had a problem with booze, whatever it is, she doesn't care. It's not an issue. She has a way to heal no matter what it is. And it's not difficult for her. It's not difficult for the great goddess to heal any condition, no matter what it is. And it's what happens is when the ego mind gets a hold of this, it likes to say, oh yeah, what about the person who is, had an amputated arm? Let's see her grow that back, etc. And when you have that kind of an attitude, it's not that she gets mad. But when you have that kind of an attitude, you're no longer looking to connect with her. You're looking to fight with her. You're looking to be at odds with her. And then she just has to wait patiently for you to come back to being willing to have her work through you. Right? So who knows? Maybe there can be a miracle and that amputee gets their arm back. But that's really not the point. The point is healing. The point is healing. The point is that with the goddess, that arm is not necessary for you to be a whole individual, for you as a soul to be whole and complete and to be happy and at peace and with joy. It's the ego that needs you to have that condition healed in a certain way. It's the ego that needs to have things be done in a certain way in order to prove that she's there. But she doesn't need a certain way like that. She knows what she's doing. When you are at one with her, when you're listening to her, you know that you have a sense of joy and a sense of calmness and an assurance of safety and protection. This message is continuous within you. Love, safety, freedom, protection, guidance. It's always there. When you start having the worry and the fear and the panic and the anger and the resentment and the grievance, you know that she's not being listened to, that she's not in charge, because she doesn't do that. That's not how a mother responds to her child. The great mother does not respond to her child by increasing their anxiety, by increasing their sense of separation, by increasing and multiplying their grievances. So it's very easy to understand quickly what we are aligning with, whether it's our own ego mind or whether it's her. And she understands the ego. She gets it. She knows what it is. She's not a stupid goddess. She's very, very intelligent. She is intelligence itself. And she knows what you're thinking. She knows the motivations of your ego. And she's capable of a type of magic that is incomparable, in that she can take something that you see incorrectly and gently guide you into seeing it in a correct way that doesn't make you feel bad, that doesn't necessarily make you wrong, but makes you open up and awaken to the truth. And that's why if you can give your perceptions to her, if you can give your misunderstandings to her, it's not that she's going to scold you. It's not that she's going to rip the rug out from under you. She's going to gently refocus you so that you understand that this is another opportunity to find peace. This is another opportunity to find joy and healing and forgiveness. It's so important that we understand the necessity of allowing peace to flow beyond our own personal meditations, our own personal private worlds. We need to allow that peace to extend out to other people. And that's what she knows how to do. We don't luckily have to know how to do that. I'm so glad I don't have to know how to do that, because I don't think I'd do a very good job all by myself. But with her, I know that I can't fail. But it's up to me to listen. It's up to me to give her that audience as frequently as I possibly can. The Shekinah wants us to have, the Shekinah is asking for us to give her a permanent place of residence within us. She already has one, but until we allow for that, she is always a guest. And we don't want her to be a guest. We want her to be a permanent resident within us. We want her to live through us and be at one with us. In whatever name you have for her, it doesn't matter. She really isn't picky. She doesn't care what you call her, as long as you understand who she is. She is the voice within you for peace. And she is that divine mother who has the uncanny ability to undo any mistakes, any problems, and to miraculously find forgiveness and equilibrium and peace and healing and make things right. Bring correction. If we can find gratitude for her, that is the quickest way for us to allow for her to have that full reign that we're talking about here. And we receive her grace through gratitude. And when we receive her grace through gratitude, we organically respond with the same grace toward others. We don't have to make a choice as much. We don't have to think, well, I really want to let him have it, but well, I guess I'll give him grace. It's more of an authentic response, natural response to things, where you give grace, where you used to give condemnation. And that doesn't make you a better person than other people. It just makes you a happier person than other people. It makes you a happier person than other people. It makes you a more peaceful person than you used to be. And when you're a more happy and peaceful person, things tend to work out for you better. And when things work out for you better, especially when they're not, quote, supposed to, in environments where you shouldn't be having a successful experience, but you are anyway, what that ends up being is a way for you to demonstrate to other people how peace can overcome any obstacles without you ever having to open your mouth about it. They can see it right there. And that's how people learn. People learn telepathically more than anything else. You don't have to tell them what you're doing. You don't have to explain to them what they should, quote, should do. If you do this and you find these places within you where you and the goddess are one, where she is capable of reordering your life in such a way that you have demonstrations of joy and success and happiness, especially in environments where that doesn't seem possible, those demonstrations in and of themselves are the teacher, because other people are going to want that too. When you can recognize the light and the perfection in other people, you know you're listening to her. You're seeing them the way she sees them, because they're her child too. And she understands when you have a grievance with her children. She gets that. But she also can help you to rise above those differences, rise above those grievances, and see them in a way that is a source of peace for you without having to give up any of your own sense of ethic. You're not condoning bad behavior when you do that. You're not condoning bad behavior just because you find love, peace, and forgiveness in your heart. Right? Like I said before, there are people that I won't probably ever speak to again just because they're not safe for me. But that doesn't mean that I don't have love for them in my heart. So transitioning from perceiving things in a certain way based on the ego's projections to being in the presence of the divine, that's her job. That's her talent, is transitioning you from one world to the other, from the world of your ego into the world of your soul. That's her big talent. And she does that through grace. She does that through love. She does that through peace. So the journey of peace moves from deep within you and then out into the world. And that's how you become one of her helpers. That's how you become one of her priests or priestesses. Is not because you're doing some mystical things necessarily, it's not necessarily that you're learning special rituals, although that can be part of it. There's nothing, absolutely that can be part of it. But that's not what we're talking about. It's much more esoteric than that. To be a priest or priestess of the goddess is to allow her to show you how to be in the world and how to be a source of peace for other people in the world and how to be a divine teacher of peace in the world, so that as you demonstrate these things, other people pick it up and go along with it too. That's how you help people find her, is not by saying, have Have you met the goddess today? Can I share with you about the goddess? You don't evangelize about the goddess. You work with the goddess and you do as the goddess teaches you. And then that helps other people find her in their own way, which is really ultimately none of your business. So living in partnership with her is the key to total fulfillment in this world and in the next world as well. Embracing gratitude and love and divine connection is the goal. So if your goal isn't peace, then you're not listening to her. You're listening to something else. But if your goal is peace, she's there to help you find it. And she will not fail. She cannot fail because she is the goddess of all that is. And the fact that she is your divine mother means that she's the closest thing to you than of anything, anywhere in the entire universe. And how she shows up for you is unique to you. But working with that and understanding that peace is your goal and that peace is something that she's going to teach you in the moment is everything. And along with peace, remember that peace is a package deal. It's just like going to Sandals Resort, where everything's included, all your drinks are included, your excursions are included, everything's included, your meals, all of it, right? Well, this is a much nicer package deal than Sandals. This means that all of your prosperity is included, that all of your relationships are included, that your health is included, whatever you need is here. So when Jesus, that character Jesus in the New Testament said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added to you," he could have very easily said, "Seek ye first the goddess, and all these things will be added to you." And that's exactly what you're learning how to do now. And she's there for you, and she will never leave you, and she has never left you. But it's up to us, each and every one of us, to find her in whatever way is the best way for us, and she'll let you know. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be. Okay, let me see if I have any questions. Okay. I find it difficult to accept peace as a part of spiritual growth. Doesn't all life need some form of conflict or resistance to grow, to get stronger, and to move forward? In this world, yes. In this world, yes. In this world, peace is not something that is necessary or even advisable. So this world is not the world of the goddess the way we understand her. This world is a world of conflict. But there's another world within you that is a world of peace. And this world of peace within you can superimpose itself over this world and can take control of this world. And you can learn that the things that you're calling conflict resistance in order to grow and get stronger are not antithetical to peace. The idea that you have to put a weight when you're working the muscle and you're calling that weight a resistance to peace or the opposite of peace is a misperception of what we're talking about when we're talking about peace. We're not talking about peace being flabby. You know, that's the idea that I think you're saying is, well, if it's not peace, then we're all going to get flabby because there's no resistance. There's no dynamic. There's no dynamics here. And that's a misunderstanding of what peace is. Peace is not the absence of tension only. Peace is that which exists underneath the false world that we are projecting. So that's just something that you're going to have to grapple with and play around with. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You don't have to. But the idea that peace is not dynamic or that peace doesn't have what's necessary in order to grow is a misunderstanding of what we mean by peace. Peace being this idea of boring, kind of like no activity, like really sort of, it seems like what a lot of people think of peace as being sort of like this non-existence. And when you experience the peace of the goddess, you'll understand that it's ecstatic. That it's ecstatic, and it allows for worlds to be born. And it allows for the Big Bang, which is still happening, by the way. So no, that's not my experience of peace at all. But it's a great question. Hate is the same frequency as fear. Well, yes. Fear is a response to the world. So fear is I shouldn't say that. Fear is a response of the ego mind. And we can say that there are two categories of emotions. There's a category of emotion that is tense, and there's a category of emotion that is at peace. And the category of emotions that comes under the definition of peace includes love, and the category of emotions that comes under the definition of the word tension is categorized by the word fear. But that also includes hatred and violence and grievance. All of those things are fear responses. But from the goddess's point of view, those aren't real. From the goddess's point of view, those don't exist like we think they do. Those exist within a nightmare of tension, whereas the world that she teaches us to find is that world of peace, which is not a boring world. It's a world of supreme ecstasy and creation. What do I think about earth angels? Angels in human form that came to earth to help humanity. Well, yeah, that's the whole idea, is to become an earth angel, right? The idea is that if you're incarnate here in this world, you can either use your time here to reinforce the illusions of the ego mind, or you can use your time here to overcome the illusions of the ego mind and find the world of the soul. And when you do that for yourself, you're helping other people by being an example of that. And a lot of times people that consider themselves, quote, earth angels, like you're talking about, have a real egoic idea of what that means. And then they become, spiritual leaders or something, and listen to me. And so you got to be careful of that, obviously, but you can be an earth angel if you decide to accept your soul's journey over the journey of your ego. That can be your role here right now. Anybody can do that. But if you listen to her, or however you would term that inner guidance, but if you listen to that goddess's voice, she'll show you exactly how to become an earth angel. Because that's really what you are. You already are. It's just, if that's what you are spending your time doing, that's up to you. So that's a great question too. Those are all really great questions. I so appreciate you. And I appreciate the amazing moderators. Today we had the lovely Jason and the lovely Vanessa. And so thank you so much for being here, everybody. And we'll see everybody on Wednesday. Until next time, blessed be.